Good evening, everyone. It's Nelson Quinones, the second or junior, however you know me. Um, and I would like to formally read a chapter, or not a chapter, but read a piece of a chapter for you from my book. I announced it on Facebook not too long ago that I am working on releasing a book entitled We Are Healed, Surviving Abuse, Self-Hatred, and Overcoming Through Faith. And I wanted to go ahead and read a passage for you and to see what you think so far. I want your honest feedback as well. I'm going to read something from the chapter titled Let the Healing Begin. It's chapter 9 in my book. The book is broken into the three parts. The first part, obviously, being surviving abuse, which talks about the pedophilia that I endured, the verbal abuse that I survived as a child through my pastor and through different means and different leaders at a church where I grew up in New York City. And then it talks about how me being overly sensitive just kind of really drove me down a really bad path. The second part of the book talks about surviving self-hatred, where I was so full of anger and bitterness that I did some very hateful things to so many people, and what it took for me to survive. And the third part talks about overcoming through faith, and I talk about different topics and different, different religions, different beliefs, things that help you to find your strength and find your feet and stand firm. Ultimately, I bring it all back to Christ, though. I do believe in Christ, but I don't force him on anybody because people have been so disillusioned and misled by the Christians that I didn't want to be one of those people. But here's a passage from chapter 9, Let the Healing Begin, and let me know what you think, okay? So this is how it reads. First of all, the Spirit of God does not inflict damaging hurt to the soul. The quote-unquote hurt that the Spirit does initiate is one that God allows, which is to not only bring God glory, but to also bring a yearning for better and greater enlightenment of the individual. While I do fully understand and appreciate an individual's reaction to a painful experience that may result in any antipathy towards people, or more specifically, religious people, and the church as an institution, I do not believe it should result in antipathy towards spirituality and a relationship with the Creator, the only entity that is able to properly effect healing and recovery for the wounding person. I do not agree with the position of this person is a hypocrite, or I don't want to be bothered with church people anymore. They can kiss my ass. Honestly, those are just two of many sentiments that I once held, and it got me nowhere. If anything, I was right back where I started because I wasn't properly treated. I wasn't properly medicated, instead medicating myself with drugs, sex, and constantly involving myself in poisonous relationships, which delayed the furthering of the healing process. If anything, I made myself sicker. And you are doing the very same thing to yourself when you remove yourself from the very thing that you know gave your life the strength, fortitude, and discipline to focus on your purpose and achieve your personal and spiritual goals. I agree with disassociating yourself from wrong people, places, and things in order to heal, but complete isolation never solves anything. When a person finds the courage to offend an innocent child through pedophilia, or a human being of an alternative sexual orientation through homophobia, and through delivering erroneous theological teachings, you do inevitably cause them to fall into sinful ways. You impose on their ability to understand fully and to believe in the power of the Spirit and of the universe properly. You inhibit their ability to grow and to be successful. However, it is incredibly necessary to confront these things so that healing can not only begin, but healing can occur, and then after healing occurs, a constant life of recovery continues. Yes, our spiritual leaders who believe that they are above the laws of the Spirit, as opposed to holding themselves to the laws of the letter, are truly the culprits, responsible for affecting a life of pain and resentment to others. We have to acknowledge this in order to realize another cause of offense. If we properly direct how families wield these offenses, especially families that adhere to biblical teachings and doctrinal principles, they learned how to do it from the preachers who taught them to believe this and to perpetuate this misunderstanding. And when misunderstandings are not properly addressed, instead applied to the incumbent, honest beliefs of the family system, it is like spreading a disease that you know you are transmitting without wanting to admit that you are spreading that disease. It is as criminal as being HIV positive, having sex with someone who is negative, and you lie about your HIV status. So that's it. Let me know what you think. Whether you like it, whether it's too deep. If it's too deep, it's going to stay that way. But let me know what you think. It's just a passage, and hope you like what you've heard so far. Thank you, and God bless you.